Seeing tributes to Bryan Clauson from drivers and the Speedway. IMS President Doug Bowles tweeted out this morning a sticker on his official vehicle and on all Indy cars going out for testing today, a very simple BC. Let's continue our team coverage now and bring in RTV6's Brad Brown. Brad, we're seeing a flood of reaction from Bryan Clauson's fellow drivers, and they had so much respect for him.
Yeah, Mark, respect is indeed a word we're going to hear a lot in the coming days as we talk about Bryan Clauson, the life that he lived and the career that he had as a driver who really anything you put him behind the wheel of, he was able to go fast and win. They're testing today, some tire testing here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. This place was so special to Clauson as he made his first Indy 500 start here in 2012, but had so much of a racing career that came before that and a lot of racing success that came far away here from the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. He actually began his USAC racing career at the age of 16. He was USAC's youngest ever winner when he won his first race back in October of 2005. He had many accomplishments really early on in his career, very quickly became one of the stars in the USAC series. He was actually headed toward a career in NASCAR. 2007 with an ARCA victory. In 2008 he joined Chip Ganassi's nationwide series team, the Busch series at that point. He actually was a teammate and filled in for Dario Franchitti during that point in his career and actually looked like he might be headed toward a NASCAR career. Late in 2008 he actually had a couple of opportunities to maybe qualify for Sprint Cup Series races, but they were rained out both times. 2010, he turned his directions full-time to USAC racing and really took off. National championships, winning the biggest races all over the country and multiple championships over the course of the remainder of his career. He won the biggest races all over the country, and then in 2012 made his first of 3 career Indy 500 starts. Some of the drivers at the track today, the first we caught up with this morning was defending Indy 500 champ Alexander Rossi, who knows all too well the risks involved in getting in the car every day.
It's difficult, but it's a risk that you know exists, and it's something that you take, and you know, it's amazing, you know, the support that we all have from our friends and families that kind of allow us to go do what we love and go compete, you know, every other weekend. It's obviously horrible when someone that you race against and is so well liked, you know, goes through something like that. So, you know, just out here and doing what he loves.
Clauson made 3 career starts here at the 500. 2012, he drove for Sarah Fisher's team, and then the last 2 years in 15 and 16, he drove for Dale Coyne Racing. He finished 23rd this past May, the best of those 3 finishes here at IMS. You see there the multiple USAC championships, the Midget Series champion, of which he was the defending champion in that series, which ultimately took his life this past weekend. 3 times he was the National Drivers Champion, basically the best of the best in that middle part of his career in 2010, 11, and 12, and many, many other championships to go along with that. Here's how dedicated this guy was to his craft. He was actually trying to race in 200 feature races this season. The BC 200 they were calling it. 116 was actually that race at Belleville this weekend. He had 27 feature wins. Basically about a fourth of the races he got in this year, he found himself in victory lane, and we're going to hear a lot more about that success and about his dedication to the sport in the days ahead. Mark, this was a very special place for Bryan, and I know when it's time for the ceremony that comes up here in the coming days at IMS, a lot of the drivers will be coming out to pay their respects in a very special way. Yeah, we're already seeing those kind of tributes come in today. We'll look forward to what's going to be happening and seeing all that respect come out when the memorial is done. Brad Brown live. We'll have much more from you this afternoon, starting with the Now Indy at 4 o'clock. Thank you, Brad, for that. We want to bring this in right now. Reaction to Bryan Clauson's death, as we mentioned, coming in from all across the racing world. Here are a few from Twitter this midday. Dario Franchitti writes, "My heart breaks for Bryan's family and friends. Rest in peace, pal. You'll be missed." Also, this one from Connor Daly, who said, "I can only hope to make the bird racing black and green look as good as you did. We will miss you, brother." There's much more reaction on Bryan Clauson's death on our website, theindychannel.com. Let's also show you this from Noblesville Mayor John Ditzler saying, quote, "The world knew Bryan Clauson as a talented driver, but off the track, he was an even better person. Bryan lived and was raised in Noblesville and represented our city well whenever he was away. He brought so much joy to our community as we watched him. The world knew him as grow as the driving ranks and participate in some of the biggest sporting races. His presence and humble smile will be missed." The
late Bryan Clauson, widely considered the best dirt track racer in the country. Clauson, a four-time USAC National Champion, was looking to compete in 200 races this year, as you heard Brad say, and he was on pace to do so with 27 victories in 116 races. Clauson also aimed to become USAC's all-time winningest driver, including 3 titles in Belleville, Kansas, including last year's before Saturday night's fateful crash. Clauson also raced in the Indy 500 3 times, including this year's 100th running, in which he started 28th, led for 3 laps, and finished 23rd. Bryan Clauson, by the way, turned 27 in June.